At the beginning of the film is a scene where a Jonghu named Tatsu with a tattooed back is standing intensely. He picks up a knife as if he is about to deal with someone but is actually going to tie roll eggs. It turns out this guy is preparing a cute lunchbox for his busy wife. When finished, he carefully placed it in the middle of the wrapping towel and took a souvenir photo. The wife suddenly went straight to the door with a hurried look because she was going to be late for an important meeting. Miss Fong left but forgot to bring a lunchbox, so Tatsu immediately packed it carefully and rode the iron horse to give it to his wife. After a while, he was caught by the police for speeding. The policeman suddenly realized that Tatsu was the legendary Yakuza who had smashed 10 enemy headquarters in one night with his bare hands. He was also praised by the gypsies. Immortal Dragon name. Tatsu pulled out a coupon from his pocket to bribe 2 policemen to continue delivering rice to his wife. Today, a scammer came to Tatsu's house to sell some crappy knives. Looking at Tatsu's scary face with a bloody apron, he almost pooped his pants. He invited him to try the knives he brought, so Tatsu took it and danced for a while. He used a knife to make a fish hamburger and invited the other guy to try it. After tasting it, the scammer was so mesmerized by Tatsu's food that he forgot the purpose of coming here. Scam. The young man who was just kicked out of this restaurant is Masa, a loyal junior of Tatsu. Since he retired to hide and became a housewife, the juniors became extremely pathetic. Suddenly he saw Tatsu standing at the convenience store buying vegetables, so he followed. Masa accompanies Tatsu to an aunt's cooking class. He was very disappointed when the big brother named Immortal Dragon was now working to make French fries. Tatsu said that he is now a housewife and will protect the area in his own way. The angry Masa knocks the plate of fries to the ground and ends up getting punched in the mouth by the big brother. That afternoon, Tatsu was riding his bicycle on the road when he had to dodge a cat and a car. The owner of the car is the boss of the Kunimi gang and also an enemy of the Tatsu. This guy also thought that the Tatsu was planning to assassinate him, so he and his juniors followed him to ask for a good treatment. He followed Tatsu to a supermarket, and it turned out that the Tatsu was fighting for a discount. He even yelled at 2 guys who were following him to jump in and grab the discount with him. But the 2 generals only got a pair of gloves and a sweater, so he sacrificed them to the other 2 young men. The blonde guy pulled out a gun and threatened to be wrestled and put on the gloves. He remembered the memories with his mother when the family was still poor, so he was moved to cry. Tatsu's wife is a famous designer with a stable career. Especially she loves anime, so he went to an anime store to buy a gift for his wife. He asked to buy the movie Squad to catch criminals. In the evening when the wife returned, he checked her whole body and then let her in. When entering the house, the wife was shocked when there was an entire altar that did not know what to do. It turned out that today was her birthday, so Tatsu was busy preparing and making a birthday cake. But his expression when singing happy birthday was like wanting to eat people. After that, Tatsu gave the gift he just bought to his wife. The wife was very happy, but this episode she already has. So Tatsu was about to cut off his little finger to apologize, causing his wife to punch him out of the window. Tatsu's cat is also a mischievous cat. Every time he goes out, it opens the door to go out. Today, he met a dog whose leash was wrapped around the cage so he couldn't move. He pointed the dog in the opposite direction to loosen the leash, but in the end it got worse, so Tatsu's cat left the dog there and climbed the wall again. Today, his new wife bought Tatsu a cleaning robot. He turned it on and carefully watched every movement. When he saw that it was quite clean, he decided to give the area back to him. As a professional in the Yakuza world, whether it was blood or fingerprints, Tatsu cleaned it without a trace. The mopping robot had pressed on the tail of the Tatsu cat, causing it to jump up, pulling everything over. At this moment, the landlady came over and saw the Tatsu wearing something red. The aunties were so shocked that they thought Tatsu had just killed someone, but it turned out it was just wine. One day, the neighbor girl sent her son to the Tatsu's house to go to work. Seeing his dangerous expression made the boy very nervous. He took out a plate of cookies he made for the boy and the boy was delighted. Tatsu also played mahjong for the boy to play, but the boy didn't know how to gamble, so he hid in the corner of the autistic house. Tatsu took his wife's model for the boy to play with, but the boy tripped and broke it in 2. So Tatsu had to take the boy to the vacant lot to dispose of the model. Just finished filling it up when his wife returned, so Tatsu was startled and knelt down to apologize. One day, on the way home, Tatsu saw his junior Masa being surrounded by thugs. Seeing Tatsu, the other guys let Masa go and left. But this younger brother was annoyed with them, so the leader walked up to Tatsu and took the wooden stick from Tatsu's hand and smashed his glass in one blow. Seeing that the Tatsu didn't show any pain, the other guy got scared and left. Seeing that the big brother was so cool, Masa thought that Yakuza and housewives were two things that had to go together, so he asked to follow Tatsu to learn housework, and the two brothers made a very cute chair. On weekends, Tatsu used to practice by shaking the hoop, so annoying that his wife introduced him to the yoga studio of the aunts. Tatsu dances very flexible, but his face is still extremely dangerous. By the time he finished practicing, he almost went to the women's locker room by mistake, so Tatsu knelt down to apologize and even made a strange gesture to wait to be tied up. The next day, Tatsu went to the supermarket with his wife, and everyone seemed scared by his goofy face, so the wife found Tatsu some clothes to make him look cuter, but which one looked at him? Still scary. While walking around the supermarket, Tatsu found an anime apron. About to show off to his wife, she was very interested and forced him to pose for a photo in the middle of the mall. Today Tatsu's cat left to play again and it jumped into a garden to defecate. This owner's cat tried to stop Tatsu's cat from pooping in his garden. When he was about to poop in the garden, the black cat took Tatsu's cat into its sandbox. It turned out that the black cat was afraid that if the owner found out there was feces in the garden, he would be chained. A few days later, Tatsu went shopping with his junior Masa when he stopped at a roadside ice cream shop. Unexpectedly, the salesman's name was Torahiro, the archenemy of Tatsu known as the Iron Fist. This guy just got out of prison and found out that his gang had disbanded, so he had to sell ice cream for a living. Bitter because while he was in prison, it was Tatsu who broke his ice, so he challenged him to a dry match. Thought it would be a bloody battle of hung, but it turned out that the two men were just comparing the cake making. Torahiro displayed superior fruit cutting skills to make a double cake, while Tatsu excelled at making tropical fruit jelly ice cream. After that, the two generals took a photo and posted it on Instagram, but in the end, no one liked it the whole time. One day, the Tatsu couple went in search of a car, but none of them suited the Tatsu. This car, he criticized as not being able to turn quickly into the supermarket. This one can't put a lot of things, this one is too fuel consuming. Finally, the favorite Tatsu is a mini pickup, which carries a lot, is easy to turn around and uses less fuel. But the wife did not agree, so the marketing staff introduced the Tatsu couple to a beautiful small family car. The staff asked the couple to test drive. When he came out to see the security guard, Tatsu imagined an assassin. Seeing the old man was afraid that he would pull out his bazooka and shoot him, so he finally gave up. Decided to put off buying the car because it's not bulletproof. One day, because Tatsu was always hunting for 3 crappy bargains, his wife asked him to take them to the second-hand market to sell. While selling goods, a group of delinquents came to cause trouble at the market. Tatsu pulled him to a corner to talk. When he knew that this was an immortal dragon, the big brother's legs shook like a machine. Tatsu took out a fruit peeler and was about to bribe the big brother when he thought he would skin him with this. Seeing that he didn't say anything, Tatsu pulled out another blender that made him faint because he thought it would be crushed like meat. By the time Tatsu pulled out the rubber duck, he could no longer stand and completely passed out. After returning home, the big brother tried to train his knees to be strong, even taking supplements, but when he met Tatsu again, he still couldn't stand. Tatsu grows a few herbs on his balcony, and usually takes great care of them. 2 policemen saw Tatsu hanging out on the balcony and thought he had grown banned substances. Tatsu packed some in a zip bag and gave it to his junior Masa. The 2 policemen, seeing that, thought the guy was selling banned goods, so they followed. Seeing that Tatsu gave Masa something very shady, the 2 policemen confirmed it was drugs. They followed the 2 to a cafe, and when they entered, they found Tatsu celebrating the innkeeper's birthday. When I checked the goods on Masa, it was just a basil plant to eat with pizza. After many days of trying to hunt for sales, Tatsu has collected enough purchase stamps to dial the winning numbers. He took his wife with him to the lottery counter of the shopping street. The wife quite liked the TV reward, but Tatsu liked the vacuum cleaner more though. Tatsu used all his concentration to spin the prize. Tatsu plucked up the courage to jump in to destroy it, but the cockroach spray was completely empty.